Shabbat Shalom. Robin, I don't know why it's not working, and it's not working right now, but I tried to send it to you a bunch of times if you're listening. It's just not working. We got a good lesson today. Hey, Betty. It wouldn't work, Robin. I don't know what's going on. It wouldn't let me go live. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi or what. I mean, it could be. I don't know what it is. It worked the other day, but it ain't working now. Hey, Lori, Shabbat Shalom, everybody out there in YouTube land. Wait for a few more people to get on. Juanita said she might be a little bit late getting in, but because her son Brandon's going to be there and he wants to ask her about something. Today's lesson we're working on, we're going to do demonic spirits and angelic spirits. So we'll wait till some people get on, our brothers and sisters. It's been fun studying this lesson here, guys. We got 5 in there now. If whoever's watching, if you would drop a message in there so I can see who's here. We're gonna be doing the demons, possessions, and good spirits, angels, and things like that. I love everybody out there. I love you guys. We're gonna start over there in the meat of this lesson today. I tried. Would you try? Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, I know. Hey, Patty. Happy Sabbath, everybody. I love y'all. I love y'all like a hog loves slop. I want y'all to turn with me, if you would. Go ahead and get over there to. Well, first of all, we're talking about demonic spirits and evil spirits. A lot of people, this world. I want to tell you, this world. Most people in this world, they say, yeah, I believe, but I don't believe they really believe. And it's real, guys. I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own eyes. I took part in it one day, and it scared me, man. I'm just going to tell you. There was this girl at our old church, and I don't know if it was actually because I was in the old church. The old church, in the Sun God Day church, and Tim, hey Tim, nice to see you. I wish I was there to see you, but yeah, the Israeli Society or demonic. Yeah, I believe you there. I believe you. Hi, Bo Denver. Yeah, but I think sometimes it's like a false positive, if y'all know what I mean. Like this instance that I was there, it was a Wednesday night in this church, and there was this lady. She had this spirit on her, man. I mean, I was standing outside, me and the preacher of that church. See, I was an associate pastor there, and it was a Pentecostal, and well, we went in. I was outside of the Wednesday night service, and everything was over, and then the preacher's wife came out and said, Joe, you got to get in here. This woman's got a demon on her. This woman's got a demon on her. And so, hang on a second. I got to turn my phone down. And okay. And Well, we go in there, and man, I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't. I believe the devil. See, people said the Bible says, how can the house divided stand? So the devil can't. The devil won't. That's what the churches tell you. Well, that's me. Devil can't cast out devil. I believe they can. I believe a higher devil, a higher demon, a one up higher on the in the food chain, can make that other one leave and make it look like that it's, oh, look what just happened, man. It's a miracle, man. I think that could happen. But I'll never take anything away from the Ruach Hakodesh because I love him. and But the devil's pretty cunning. But anyways, this woman, she was standing there, and I seen her eyes. Her eyes went from having pupils in them to solid black, straight across. I mean, the whole eye was black inside. The eyeball was black. That scared me, man. I froze right there in my tracks, and then it didn't. Her eyes came back to the way they were, and then Joe. I guess Joe saw it too. The preacher. He must have. I mean, because I'm gonna tell you, I looked like a deer in the headlights. I was afraid, and Joe just hollered. He said, "In the name of JC, come out!" And then when he said that, I felt different. And I was like, "Good morning, Heather. I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad you made it. I've been praying about you and thinking about you a lot, and your whole family, Dave and Jane. I love you guys fiercely." But then I just felt this feeling come over me, and I took my two fingers like this and put them up underneath her chin, and I started just praying, and her eyes changed again. They didn't do it once, they didn't do it twice, it did it 3 different times. And then this voice started coming out of her. I mean, it was like a man growling, kind of. It was nasty, and it was talking to me, but I wasn't listening because I just kept praying. And then she started foaming. This white foam was just coming out the sides of her mouth, and then her eyes. The third time her eyes changed to straight black, and then it come back. I mean, it was pitch as cold. It was black. And then her eyes came back, and the foam was coming out of her mouth. Then she started spitting up this green. I mean, she was this green vial. I mean, it was nasty. And so I told her after I sensed that it was over, and so I said go over there, and she started spitting up this green bile looking stuff that was, and the foam was like in the corners of her mouth and on the sides. It was pretty nasty, and I felt good about myself there, but I've thought about that a lot since that day. It's probably been every bit of 6 years ago that this happened, and that's the only time I've ever seen that, and I really don't care if I ever see that again. But I've been thinking about that a lot, especially when it come back up with this here lesson when we're doing demonic spirits. The world don't believe this, guys. They don't believe. They just, oh man, like I think a lot of the sickness and stuff around is like mental in your mind. I believe that it can be a lot of it can be demonic, on these people where they ain't in their right mind. They can be crazy. You want to call them crazy, but the doctor wants to pump people up on meds and stuff and try to suppress it or something. But I think a lot of it is due to demonic activity, guys. Like you might have a paralyzed hand, or that can be made whole. See, that's not of the Father. Yahweh is not in that business. He's in the business of healing and making things whole, not breaking them apart. There was this revival. It happened, I think it was like 1909 to 1911. It's lasted 3 years. And it was a revival. I mean, hundreds and thousands of people came over. It was out there in California. And we're talking about things, but people were missing legs that grew right in front. I mean, right there, come back, their arms, missing arms back. We need a revival like that. And back then, I'm pretty sure they were still using the wrong names. But William Seymour, he was a black guy. He headed this up out there, and he man, they said at the end of each day there was boxes full of cancerous tumors they would collect up off the floor. They said the floor would be a mist across the floor, and people said they could see a light coming straight down where it was into this building. See, the power of the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Hakodesh, fell. I believe he still falls, guys. And this demonic stuff, I might have a problem with it, but I'm glad I missed that study. I would have flipped. Yeah, Robin, it was. I'm telling you, it was, it was, it was something. Like again, I've never ever seen that again, and I don't care. But if I had to, I got the names now. I'm armed. I have some mighty. I have some spiritual dynamite now with the Ruach and the true names. He says we have authority, guys, over this. But the word, I've been studying the word, and I'm gonna tell you, there's so many different instances of the demonic activity throughout the whole word. But I wanted to do some comparisons. I was looking up. I want you guys can write this stuff down because I just wanted to tell you. All right, y'all turn to Genesis chapter 1. I want you to look at here. This is the very first instance of the Spirit, the Ruach, showing up in the Word. The very first one is Genesis chapter 1, verse number 2. Go over there and let's see what that says, guys. Genesis chapter 1, verse number 2. It says, "And the earth was desolate and ruined, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Ruach Elohim moved upon the face of the waters." The first time the Spirit shows up in the Word. And he shows up many, many other times. Now, people say, well, the Ruach wasn't in the Old Testament, guy. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, I guess I know what I'm talking about. I know where it's at. I know what he showed up and did. Let me tell you this. The Ruach came upon individuals to enable them for specific leadership roles, guys, such as leadership roles, artistic skills, and prophetic messages. How many prophets did the Father give to us? A lot of them. What's something artistic? Noah built an ark. That's pretty creative. So they built a temple. That's really creative. That's artistic. They make music. That's good. They write songs. David did that. David had all kinds of different attributes from the Spirit. But let me give you some examples. Y'all might want to write this down because these are. I'm trying to do the good side right now, guys, of the Spirit. There's many times in the Word. I want you guys to do it because you can do that for your homework. And okay, what is it? When Yahuwah sent or allowed an evil spirit to mess with Saul, so did he just allow it? Yeah, he probably ordained it because Saul disobeyed him. I'm going to tell y'all about Saul here in a minute. That's a good question. What happened? But right now we're talking about the Ruach Hakodesh and what he does for people. But guess what? Y'all need to write these down. These are prime examples of different attributes or gifts that the Spirit did. This is it's all the Old Testament, right? We had Joseph. Write Joseph. He was in Genesis 41, verse 38. You had Bezalel, Bezalel, that's in Exodus 31, 2 through 3. I'm trying to keep it slow, guys. Then you have Joshua in Numbers, chapter 28, verse 18. And then you have Gideon, Japheth, and Samson. They're in Judges 6, verse 34. They're in Ezekiel, that's in Judges 6, 34. Then it's 11, verse 29. And then it's over in verse 13. Verse 25, chapter 13, 25. All right, I'll start them back over. Joseph. Genesis 41, verse 38. Then you have Bezalel. That's spelled Bezalel. You're going to get knocked out. That's what you're going to get. 31. That's in Exodus chapter 31, verses 2 and 3. Then you have Joshua. That's in Numbers 27, verse 18. Then we have Gideon, Japheth, and Samson. You can find those in Judges. All these are in Judges here. 6, verse 34. 11, verse 29. And chapter 13, verse 25. Hey, Keto. Then we have King David. We have, you're going to find this over in 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 13, yes. Now, I want you guys to, we're going to do with the spirit departing. The spirit departs. There's some pretty good stuff in here. I'm over there in Samuel. Go to 1 Samuel, guys. 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 14. Let's see what happens over there. That's 1 Samuel 16. Robin, that's just in the book. That's the first book, just Judges. Chapter 16, verse 14. You can't knock out a milkshake. I don't know who he's talking to, but I think he's talking to you, Robin. But it says in verse 14, but the Ruach Yahuwah departed from Sheol, and an evil Ruach from Yahuwah troubled him. What's that say right there, Robin? Did that answer your question? The question you just had? Did that answer it? Dave, practice falling down. I'll be there directly. But see, there you go. The Ruach left him, and then the evil Ruach troubled him. And the Father, it says, from Yahuwah troubled him. An evil Ruach from Yahuwah troubled him. So, yeah, that's pretty good, ain't it? I mean, that's telling you right there. He said this, let's do it. Ruach, see, people, me personally, I don't think that Saul will be in heaven. I mean, because he committed sideways anyhow. And I think that he disobeyed the Father so many times. And then once he did that, he was sore grieved. Let's go over, I'm going to go to 1 Samuel, guys. Let me put it in. It's over here. Go to chapter 28. And this is where it's really in verse 7 is the main meat of this, chapter 28, verse 7. That's where I'm at right here. But you see this spirit. He says, then, in verse number 7, chapter 28, verse 7, then said Shaul to his servants, seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit. See, he was afraid already, because you got to come back down here. It's verse number 4, and it says, and the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Shaul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Shaul inquired of Yahuwah, Yahuwah answered him not, neither by dreams nor by Urim. Urim is the stones that you use. It was on the breastplate of the Levitical priesthood. And then it says, nor by prophets. So the father was not talking to him anymore. Saul was already in trouble. And then we go on here and see what he did. Then said Shaul to his servant, seek me a woman that has a familiar spirit. You don't want to mess with a familiar spirit. They're not of the father. Now, the meat of this, we'll circle back around here because he goes to the witch of Endor, and she brings up Samuel. So you know what, guys, I've been having a time with that. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Yeah, the father sent it, Robin. The father sent that. You just seen where the father allowed that. He sent that evil spirit to Saul. But the Samuel, she raised, the word says that Samuel, she brought him up and Samuel was talking to him. But I don't know I don't know because I've never done this. I've never done that. Was it really Samuel? What do you guys think? Would you think it was really Samuel that was brought up out of peaceful slumber? I mean, I kind of lean to the side that it may not have been him because I don't know if the father would allow one of these just to call it one of his and to bring him up. See, I don't know if it was really him or not, but I mean it could be. But my mind's kind of tore over that, guys, because I know how demons they can duplicate things. You've seen what they did in Egypt over there with Moses, the sorcerer. They matched everything, but they couldn't do everything. I thought in Ecclesiastes that what, Robin? I don't know what you're talking about. Tell me what you're talking about. See, this is a really good subject matter, guys, because I really like talking about this because I know we have authority over these demonic spirits. Once you are done under the sun, you are done. See, yes, but so what are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me that it wasn't Samuel, that it was probably another spirit of a demon or some sort? Because that's what I've thought. But the word says it was him, and the words and in the word it says that Samuel told him that you're going to die. You and your sons are going to be took out in that battle. So that's where I'm torn because it was like Samuel was making a prophecy to Saul there. So was it him or I don't know. I just take it. I just have to take that with a grain of salt because I don't trust the Satan or his host because you don't know what to believe. But there's a way around it. I said all that to say this right here. This is what I wanted you guys to see. This is what I wanted you to hear. This is the meat. This is the smoking gun that how we combat the devil, his enemies. See, you got to understand. There's a difference between a fallen angel and demons. The demons are their offspring. The demons are the children of these fallen angels the Nephilim. That's who they are, and they were cursed to roam the earth. And now they can take possession of anything, people, objects, animals. They can do it. And if you ever read Enoch, the father told them that that's what's going to happen. And I know there's probably people out there saying, "Nah, that's not true." Well, go read Enoch, then you come back to me. I mean, I'll wait. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck or anything like that, but I'm just telling you. Enoch tells us that they're the children of the fallen angels, and they made it with all flesh, not just the women. All flesh. Why do you think you got mermaids? They're called sirens. That's half human, half fish. You got centaurs. See? The Greek mythology stuff. That I'm starting to. I question everything now. Everything. See, that's not natural because it wasn't planned to be here. There's so many different things that they did that the father. That's why they're being punished. They made a pact at Mount Hermon. These fallen angels that they'd all take the heat for it. Well, And then once they repented, they tried to repent. They come to Enoch and wanted him to make a petition for him. And the father said, "Don't do it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. They're not going. They'll never see it again. And matter of fact, they'll never see the light of day." So, with all that being said, this is how you know, without a shadow of a doubt, what to do. And I taught my children this when they were young, and I repeated it over and over and over to them so they would know. Go to 1 John chapter 4. Go straight there. We're gonna read 1 through 5. 1 John chapter 4. I'll give you a second to get there, guys. This is the this right here is the this is awesome. This is spiritual warfare. Remember, in Ephesians chapter 6 verses 10 through 18, that's your spiritual armor. You put that armor on every morning when you get up. But right now, we're going over to 1 John chapter 4, 1 through 5. I'm going to read it. This is what you do, guys. This is exactly what he tells you to do against demonic activity. Beloved, believe not every ruach, but try the ruach, the spirit. You try it, whether they are of Elohim, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby you know the ruach Elohim. Every ruach that confesses, you hear that? Every ruach that confesses that Yahusha HaMashiach is come in the flesh is of Elohim. And every ruach that confesses not that Yahusha HaMashiach is come in the flesh is not of Elohim. And this is that ruach of anti-Mashiach. That means Antichrist, anti-Messiah. Whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. You are of Elohim, little children, and have overcome them. And have, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world hears them. See, that's why the world, people that's not separated in Kodashim, or that we know that happens, these evil, these demonic spirits they possess, we know. But if they're in the world, they don't care. They don't even know. It's oblivious. Oh man, he just give him some pills, put some pills in him. We'll shut him up, sit him down, and don't even know. I mean, how many times have you walked in somewhere? I know I've done it, and you could just feel the evil because of somebody, a person. They just out of nowhere just get snotty because they'll see a child of the Most High. They know that spirit, and that demonic spirit, you stir them up, because a lot of times you can see the glow. They'll see your glow and they don't like it, and they'll say some nasty stuff. And then, especially if you say something about Yahuwah, you mention the name Yahuwah and they go stupid. Though they don't want to hear that, because there's power. Yahusha, there's power. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's a wonderful thing to know that you have that kind of power. All he says right here in John, he says to try the spirit. That means, I'm going to break it down real simple. If you believe it to be something demonic is happening, yeah, your ruach irritates their demons. That's exactly right. I don't know what that means, Daniel. What do you like eating dish up? Yeah, I eat it. I eat a piece of it every morning. It's so good. But yeah, you ask it, did Yahusha come in the flesh? That's all you got to do. If it can't answer yes to it, guess what happens? It's got to flee. But if it sticks around and can answer to that yes, then you're okay. So what would be considered a good spirit, guys? What would you, if you asked that to, you think it would be maybe an angel that comes to you, or because I believe that's the only really two, you know, angels. They come to people. Um, and I see. What do y'all think? What do you guys think? Do you think there's other spirits other than angels that are good? I don't think the. I believe they would probably just be angels, really, because I don't believe in ghosts. Ghosts don't exist because when you die, you're in the ground until the resurrection. I mean, you're in the presence of the Father when you're dead, but you're not there, like the wicked church tells us. Hey, you're oh, he's gone straight up to be with the Father. And his spirit might have, but his body ain't, and his body's gonna come back to the clouds with a new one and be dressed in white. I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, he says I'm not the author of confusion. But let's go over here. I got the. I know there's so many stories about demonic possession in the Word, but this is one that particularly I really like right here. This one I really do. It's over there in Acts 19. We're going to read Acts 19, verses 14 through 16. It's a good story. I like this. And you have to read the whole chapter. And it says, and there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Yahudi, that means a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil Ruach answered and said, Yahusha I know, and Paul I know, but who are you? That's what that demon asked those 7 sons of Sceva. What do you think he meant by that? But who are you? He knew Yahusha and he knew Paul. Then he says this, and the man in whom the evil Ruach was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. What do you mean, Dave? What do you mean by that feeling? Are you talking about this, that when you see one of those spirits, or, because yeah, answer that for me, Dave, if you would, because I'd like to know what you're talking about. I know, is it if you sense that there's something evil around you, or is it if you see something like out of the corner of your eye, you think you see a shadow move or something, or out of that way, but you see it in your peripheral? You have, if you're thinking it's some kind of evil spirit, you got some of these spirits, guys, you got to understand you aren't going to be able to get rid of them, because a lot of them requires prayer and fasting. You have to, because some of them strong. You got to dig down deep. You got to fast. You need to pray. How long I need to fast, Abba? Because I'm going to tell you, some of these demons, you've seen what happened right here. That demon knew Paul and he knew Messiah, but he asked those cats, 7 of them, one man overcame 7 of them, beat the brakes off of them, and took their clothes, because sent them out naked and wounded. That's pretty tough. Yes, Rob. Yeah, the demons can take possession of anything, an inanimate object like a glass, a cup, especially people bring in artifacts that don't know any better, that has demonic spirit attached to it. It can be anything, especially for something ancient. If you found, it could be like a cupboard that you bring in your house, or a coffee mug, or just whatever. I mean, something old like an ancient knife or something that you found, one of them sword, or I can't think the word I'm looking for, an obelisk or a trinket. Yeah, trinket. There we go. A medallion or something. They can be all over that, and you guys. That's why, man, before you bring something in your house, we ought to be praying about it before you bring it in. I mean, because we don't know what it's got on it. But no, that's that story of Sceva there. That's a pretty good read too, because see, they were trying to go in there and do something that they had no business doing, because they thought, oh well, everybody else can do it. Well, I can do it too. No, you can do it if you have Yahusha and the Ruach Hakodesh in you. You can do this, because he says he left us with his authority. That's what it's real simple. He left the authority. He says, "Seek ye first the kingdom." The kingdom means, if you go and look that word up, it means his authority. And then all else will be given unto thee, or be added to you. He says, it's amazing how he'll put this stuff on you when you start digging and start looking and start wanting to know about his word. But there's another story that I wanted to go and bring up to you right here. I want y'all to turn over to Mark chapter 5. I don't want to read all this, but you know, you can start at chapter verse. It's Mark chapter 5, guys. Mark chapter 5, um, 3 through 15. It says, I'm gonna start at 4. It says, because that he had often been bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been pulled apart by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Yahusha, he saw Yahusha. And what did Yahusha? See, the man was still in that's his body, but he had demonic possession in him. That man seen Yahusha. He couldn't, he didn't want them demons in there. He saw Yahusha and he cried out. Them demons weren't going to cry out for him. They weren't going to do that. But the man did. And Yahusha knew it. That's why those demons couldn't shut him up. That man isn't. Those demons. Look, when Messiah asked him, he said, "What's your name?" He said, "We are legion, for we are many." Well, guess what? The word in the Roman, a Roman legion, that's a military unit. It usually consisted of 5,000 or 6,000 people. So that's a legion. He had that many in this one man. A legion. We are legion, for we are many. And then the demons wanted to ask him, "Hey, well, don't come and torment us for our time." Well, you're tormenting this man. I think they put him in a pig. Why did they put him into the pigs? Because they're unclean. That's where they wanted to go. They weren't going into a clean beast. They went into those pigs, and guess what happened? The pigs run down the hill into the water and drowned it. It's a good story. But if you don't believe in demonic possession, there's so many stories that, you know, I listen to some of them, but some of them are far-fetched. But most people believe like, oh my man, that's just my great uncle died in this house 16 years ago, and he's here helping me. He'll do stuff in the kitchen, or oh, don't mind him. That's not your uncle. That ain't your uncle, man. You got a demon. If you, man, you stand right there. You ask. Just because you don't see it and you know something there, you ask it. The Messiah, Yahusha, come in the flesh. If it's not of the Father, if he can't answer yes, you won't hear that mess no more. They're powerless against, familiar spirits. They're powerless against that name, and you have the authority in that name. So you have the power to do this. See, I know people out there listening, probably, telling me, there ain't no such thing as that. Well, you believe what you want to believe. You just do it. I know that there is. I've seen this stuff, man. I am not. Don't doubt for a minute that it's not real. It is. And then you got people out here. I'm so thankful. I can't thank Yahuwah enough for bringing. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why he chose me or how. I'm just thankful that I'm no longer part of that church, part of the world, the Gentile people. I don't, man. Because when you see these things, you can't unsee it, guys. When you see the word, when it comes to life, you can't unsee it. And then you got these demonic possessions. That's what's happening in the end days. It's the demonic activity is going to be it's going to be ramping up. Now, think about this. If you look at Daniel chapter 12, verse number 2, he says when Michael stands up, when that champions for his people, the church tells you it's the Ruach HaKodesh is going to be pulled off of here. Without the Ruach HaKodesh, you can't get saved, guys, because you have to be drawn to the Father. See, during this tribulation times, oh, well, we won't be here. Where are you going to be? You going to be dead? because that's the only place I know. You'll either be in the ground or you'll be here. There's no in between. You ain't gonna be magically whisked to another planet. When Michael gets that call to stand up, Michael is what's holding back right now. That he's the warring chief angel, and he has angels under him. And when he gets that call, when Yahuwah says, Michael, stand up, guess what's going to happen? Huh? What's going to happen? See, y'all read what Dave said. That's exactly right, Dave. You that, I read over there in First Corinthians yesterday, and second, man, we're not to even break bread with an unbeliever. You know that? That's really sad. We're not to break bread with them. Anybody that's idolatrous, adulterous, none of that. We're not even associate. That's pretty rough, guys. That's pretty rough. And what's that say? And that's why we have to pray peace over. Yes, yes. And that time is up when Angel Michael stands up. I see it when Michael gets the call to stand up. It's a wrap, mic drop. That's when you're gonna see that. If you don't believe in demonic activity, you're gonna believe it then, because you're gonna see things that the Bible. This word right here says that men's hearts will fail them for the things they'll see coming upon this earth. It's gonna be like you ain't never seen. Hey man, but I'm gonna be here, guy. I'm gonna be, whisked away into the clouds, man, and sing Kumbaya and roast marshmallows. It's a shame that you believe that, but it's a lie. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna be right here in the middle of it. Dude, I hope you guys are prepared. Start preparing your hearts, because you can see this stuff. What's happening? I used to say we're in the last days. We're in the last days. No, I believe we're in the last minutes of the last days. I really do. I don't think there's much time left, man. I really don't. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think there's a lot of time left. There is so much evil that's running rampant. I mean, and then I don't know if you guys have been seeing that thing about the lady and the baby trying to get milk from a church, or I've heard some things about it, and but you see how that you see she did it. I think it was like she was just trying to do I think she was just doing a survey, not a survey, but to like a private investigation of her own to show you how wicked the church is. I mean, that this church, she called several churches, and she, 2 month old baby couldn't have formula, and the church won't give it, man. Really? You got thousands of dollars, millions in the bank, and you can't help that poor woman out. If I remember correctly, when the disciples came to Messiah, didn't he ask? They asked him, Messiah, what's the greatest commandment of all? Well, love Yahuwah with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. And the second one is likened to the first one, to love your neighbor as yourself. But this wicked cesspool church, I hope I said cesspool, but this wicked church won't give nothing. And then you want to have we're having a can drive next week, so let's go ahead and then just get everybody bring in some cans, no, why don't you buy it with the money that's in the bank? Go buy a trailer load of food so we can give it away. I give it. We're the church, y'all. Man, if you're in a wicked church, you're giving money every week for nothing. It's not biblical, but yet you're going to defend it to the teeth. Makes me sick, man. It's disgusting. Don't even know what the tithe is for. It's not for that wicked church, man. And I look. If you're in the church right now, I still love you. I still love them, but man, they need to wake up. This is ridiculous. Man, there's so many people that it's a shame that I don't have the money like that to do that for people, because it's man, it breaks my heart that to think that a church would not give people a woman or there's people that ain't gonna have power this winter. I believe this winter is gonna be brutally cold, and that's demon. That's demonic, guys. We're talking about this right now. That is demonic. That's not of the Father. It's not. And my sister Robin, she takes a tenth out of her paycheck every week, and I'm gonna start doing that too. I was talking about that yesterday. I'm gonna start doing that same thing because I'd like to start buying. I would love to have, like, we used to get blankets and socks and hats and toothpaste and toothbrush and make little boxes. Robin, I think you remember when we did that, and I enjoyed that. That's what we need to be doing. We need to be helping people. We need to be spreading the Basora, because there's going to be wicked. The wicked's going to ramp up, guys. They're going to come. It's coming, and it's coming to your house. It's coming. The Messiah says it. 5 in a house, 3 against the 2, and 2 against the 3. Father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, daughter against mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. It's coming. It also says that your enemies will be that of your own household. I found that out. I've already done it. I mean, I'm getting divorced over account of it, and I'll never change. I'll never repent or say I'm sorry for standing on my rock ever. I'm standing on Yahusha. That's my rock. Yahuwah. He's my rock. Straight is the way and narrow is the gate, guys. I'm standing on the rock. I'm standing on a rock. I'll profess it from mountaintop to mountaintop, from sea to shoal. I'll do it. I'm done. I'm done. I can't. I just can't. It's sad, guys. I mean, am I wrong? Do y'all believe I'm wrong? I'm not praying for the wicked at the church. I don't pray for them. I don't pray for anybody outside of Kodashim unless they ask me. I do pray for their eyes to be open. Messiah said he don't pray for them. Messiah says I only pray for the ones you give me, Father. Ain't rocket science. I love them. Where you're just mean. You ain't gonna pray. I pray for anybody. They ask me to pray for them. I pray with them. But I'm gonna tell them this Yahusha and Yahuwah. That's what it is. I'm gonna tell them you need to get out of that cesspool church. That wicked, wicked church. See, I've been trying to refrain from calling them cesspools. It's hard. It's really hard because that's been ingrained in me. Because I don't like it. He's coming for that. When he comes back, he's coming there first. He done said it. That's not my words. You can shoot the messenger. I'm okay with that. But I'm just telling you the truth because I love y'all. And these demonic spirits are running rampant, guys. I want y'all to be filled with the Ruach, the Holy Spirit. I want to say that for the people that don't know what Ruach HaKodesh means. I want people to be filled with Him and not some kind of demonized whatever it is. Because it's real. There's too many people that do some wicked things, and the demons don't do it, but they influence. They like, man, you need to kill yourself. You gotta do it. Now the demons can't pick the gun up and do it themselves. They get you to do it. That's how they operate. They can't do it. But see that demon. That demon that was in that man back over there in Acts, the sons of Sceva, those 7, that demon, they're strong, and they beat the wheels off of that man. They used that guy. See, that guy was still in there, but that demon was in there too, and he can help. They powerful, but they can't kill you. They can have the dude kill you. That's how they roll, because they want your soul. And if a demon's in you, I hope and pray I ain't got no demons. I don't want them nowhere around me. I don't even want to be, I'll try my best to cast them out. Go to 1 Timothy 4, go to 1 Timothy 4, 1 through 4. Let's go over there to 1 Timothy. Let's see what old Tim has to say. Hey, Tim, what you got to say, brother? We got 4. I can't read what that says. Okay, 4, 1 through 4. All right. Now the Ruach speaks expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith. That's right, giving heed to seducing Ruach, seducing spirits. See? What's that, man? Look, anybody that preaches once saved, always saved, run from them because they don't know the word of Father, Yahweh. They're a liar and the truth ain't in them. That's the facts. Paul's telling you right here that you can turn away and fall off. Hey man, I'm saved to the day of retention, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, wow, man, I'm sealed. Okay, you think you sealed. You're fake sealed. That's what it is. You looking for a fiery pit. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you, but that's what's going to happen. Because listen to what he's saying right here. This is just one of many. And in the latter time, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing ruachs and doctrines of demons, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. Now, here's the key. Go back up there to the first verse. This is what you got to look back. What he just said all the way down through here, and it says, "Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from food, and or which Elohim has created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe in the truth." See, people say, "Oh, I can eat pork, man. You want to give me a ham sandwich?" No, that's not what that means. See, that's the one verse Charlie said, man. See right there, it says it right there, man. Let's go back up to the front, up to the top. This is what you need to know right here. It says that in the latter times, some shall depart from the faith. Why? Because they're going to be giving heed to seducing ruachs. Oh, they weren't saved to start with. I can hear Karen or Richard saying, "You can't teach. That's not true, man." Yeah, it is true. Because people are saved and fall away. Saul was saved. Did y'all not listen to what I was telling you back there with Saul? The Ruach HaKodesh departed from him. You don't think he can depart from you? Are you that much better than Saul was? Saul was disobedient. He gave heed to a seducing. Look, the Father sent one. It's not rocket science, people. This New Testament didn't change nothing. This New Testament is just a refreshing of what's in the Old. It amazes me, guys. It just baffles me how he says that they're going to depart. People are going to depart from their faith because of an evil, seducing spirit. Wie geht's es dir? Verstehe nicht. What about German? Or is that Jermaine, like Jermaine Jackson? I always feel like somebody's watching me. Because you probably got a demonic spirit around you if you feel like that. But anyway, let's get out of here. I got some more scripture for you guys. Right here. Let's go over to Matthew, chapter 15. Matthew 15. Matthew 15. For those of you in New York City, that is right after 14. 15. That's the 1 and the 5. For those of you in New York City. I kid, guys. I kid. All right, listen. We're going to go to Matthew 15, verses 20. Well, I guess that's, I might have wrote it backwards. I was dyslexic. Let me. Okay, it's 21 through 28. That's an 8, not a 0. I thought it was a 0. 21 through 28. Matthew 15, 21 through 28. Jenny, Patty says hello.
Hello, Miss Patty.
Then Yahusha, we're at verse 21. Then Yahusha went thence and departed into the coast of Zor and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan cried to him, saying, "Have mercy on me, O Adonai, son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a demon." But he answered her not a word. And his Talmudim came and sought of him, saying, "Send her away, For she cries after us. My goodness. Get Karen out of here. You know, I can hear it now. Karen's bugging me, man. But he answered and said, I'm not sent, but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. See, that's a whole nother story right there, guys. Y'all, for those of y'all that are here all the time, y'all know what that one means. Y'all know exactly what that means and why he was here for that. See, if you're not set apart, you're not going to understand it. If you're not Kodashim, you're not going to understand verse 24. It's imperative that you come into the covenant of truth. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Adonai. Yep, submit yourselves for Elohim, resist Diablos, and he would see. That's what you got to do. And it says then, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to the dogs. What does he mean by that? What did he mean by bread? Anybody want to take a shot at it in the comments? Patty? Tim? Y'all want to answer that one? Somebody? Why? What did he mean by bread? Why is he not going to cast the bread to the dogs? Huh? This is good stuff. Say what again? It says right here, and she said, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to the dogs. Why did he say the children's bread? What does he mean by that? And cast it to the dogs. There is a strong reason why he said to the children's bread to the dogs. He's the bread of life. And it's for his children. He's not casting his bread to the dogs, Gentiles. But guess what she did? She worshiped him. She worshiped him. And then guess what happens? And she said, truth, Adonai. Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their Adonai's table. Then Yahusha answered and said to her, O woman, great is your faith. Be it to you even as you will. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. What happened? See, he's the bread of life, and it's for his children. He's for his children to set apart the Kodashim. But she worshipped him and believed her faith. That very hour, Messiah, he told her, O woman, great is your faith. I bet you he said that with compassion. I bet he even said this. I bet he said, I bet he told her and he answered and said, I bet he said it with love. It's not me to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. Because he knew, he could see into her heart. She believed. That's all you have to do. Believe on him. The wicked church is going to tell you have to invite him into your heart, say this little prayer, and do 3 claps and click your heels and turn around and cut a cartwheel, then you're saved. That's not true. You just believe. All you have to do is believe on me. Believe on me. She believed. And her daughter that demonic spirit was cast out. That very hour. It's amazing what you'll learn if you'll let the Ruach lead you. That's from another verse, oh Lord. You're talking about casting your pearls before swine. Yeah, that's yeah. But see, we're to go out and spread the Basar, though. That's what he tells us to do. And I know a lot of people don't like to do it because they're afraid they're going to get in a fight, or, well, you got to be willing to take whatever comes your way. We're called to be separated from the world and to tell. See, he's got people he's putting out on the front lines that's going to go out there, and but some of them are just back and just doing whatever it is they need to do. But there's people that's always sounding the trumpet. The evil's, evil's coming. It's coming, and it's demonic. It's coming, guys. So if you don't believe in demon possession or demonic activity, you better start believing in it, because when they manifest, when Michael gets that call, you better believe in it. You better be prepared. And I'm just telling you guys, you may want to start prayer and fasting, because all right, Jeannie, that's great. That's what I'm talking about right there. No matter what the response is. Look, you said it. Once you tell them, their blood no longer will be on your hands. You just tell them. Either they'll hear or forbear. For those of you in New York City, forbear means won't accept it, won't hear. But yeah, me too. What, Patty? Oh yeah, you spreading it. That's good. I'm glad. And that I got another one here, guys. I wanted to read to you. There's so many in here. I only picked a couple, guys, because I didn't want to just keep beating a dead horse, because well, let's see. No, that must be from last week, because go to the end, you sluggard. No, that's not one. Okay, I got one more here. I think it is, guys. Let's come over here we're going to Psalms. Go to Psalms 51. Psalms 51, verse 11. Psalms 51, verse 11. Psalms 51, verse 11. Psalms 51, 11. It says, look what David says here. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Ruach HaKodesh from me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get that too, Jenny. That's the facts. But y'all hear that? Listen to that again. Cast me not away from your presence, and take not your Ruach HaKodesh from me. I know what the church would say. Well, Messiah hadn't came yet. Messiah hadn't died for our sins yet. That's why you could lose it. See, when Messiah died, he didn't end the Old Testament. He didn't abolish the law like the wicked cesspool church will tell you. He didn't. All he did was end the sacrificial law, guys. Just think, with all the sin that's running rampant, and it's about to be running rampant, we didn't have enough goats. We wouldn't have enough cows. We wouldn't have enough bullocks. We wouldn't have enough rams to atone for the sin. Why did Messiah say in Matthew 5, verse 17 through 19, think not that I came to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. Not one jot nor one tittle will be made. A jot, if you don't know what that means, or a tittle is just a little blip, a little dot. That's not even going to be changed. Nothing. The Father, remember, back over there, all the way back over there, and we don't need that the Old Testament. Back there in that one, the church says you don't need. Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 22 tells you otherwise. He says he wrote 10 laws, commandments, on 2 tablets of stone with his finger. He signed that contract. See, they made a verbal contract at Horeb. They marched 6.5 miles to Sinai. Moses goes up for 40 days. Messiah signs the contract on 2 tablets of stone. And he wrote no more. The law wasn't going to be added. The law got added because of disobedience, punishment. Remember, Deuteronomy also says he's going to write them in your heart. He says that in Jeremiah 30, chapter 30 and chapter 31, he's going to write them in your heart. And Deuteronomy says puts them on the frontlets of your mind and on your hand. He writes them there. Your heart is symbolic for the Ark of the Covenant, because remember, he don't dwell in houses made by human hands, by man's hands. He did back then when they built these temples, because he had his room. But now the veil was rent, that's gone now. Your heart is the Ark of the Covenant. Your 10 Commandments are going to be written in there. They're going to be put in front of your mind. They're going to be on your hand. See, that's your works. And the church will tell you that you don't have works. It's a works-based salvation. See, that's demonic. That's demonic. I wonder how many demons are sitting in them churches on every Sunday, godless day. It makes me sick. I have to think about it. And this is a good lesson plan. The demons and good and evil. It's a timeless classic. We know who's going to win. We know that we have to be prepared. You have to give. Look, are you willing to just? Are you willing to lose everything? Are you willing to lose everything for Yahuwah? Even your life. Remember, Messiah says, truly blessed is the one who loses his life for his name's sake. I mean, guys, you're going to have to make some hard decisions. This coming down the road, we're going to have to make some tough decisions. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. But guess what? I don't even worry about it, because he says that now I don't even think about it. But I just want you guys prepared, because this world is filthy evil. I mean, just wicked, and it's getting worse. And when Michael stands up, guys, it's going to be really, really bad. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not even worried about it, because I know who's in charge. I know who's got my back. I know that I have authority given from on high from him. You got it too. There's nothing to fear, guys, except for him. All you got to do is fear him. That's the beginning of wisdom, fear of the Father. But the wicked cesspool church will tell you otherwise. Did I say cesspool again? I didn't mean to. I really didn't. It just flows out so eloquently. I don't mean to say that. But that cesspool, that church is really, really wicked. And I'll not repent for that, because they are. Now, I've done other things I need to repent for. I do a lot of repenting, guys, but the church is terrible. I'm so thankful the Father opened my eyes. Yeah, it will to set you free. But there's so many. I'll see if I got any more in here, Mark. There's so many, guys. There's so many stories that you guys can go and look to in the Word if you still want to do demonic activity, because there's so much in here. You got Enoch in here. Enoch's got a bunch of good stuff about. So does Jasher. If you guys haven't read Jasher yet, you need to. It's mini Genesis. It fills in a lot of spots in Genesis where you kind of left wondering about some things, and I believe it was done by design. I think it was done by great design. And James, I've got so many scriptures. I just decided, man, have everybody look it up. I want them to look up some stuff, because that way it helps you to study a little bit better, and it'll help you learn. It'll help you be able to walk your way through the Word. Well, okay, here we go. 2:19. James 2, verse 19, guys. You believe that there is one Elohim. You do well. The demons also believe and tremble. They do. But will you know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? See, that's what I was talking about earlier. That the wicked church will tell you that, hey man, all you gotta do is you just invite JC into your heart, man,
and it's all we sing kumbaya, man, and we smoke marshmallows and whatever, eat marshmallows, roast them, whatever they do. Yeah, yeah, man, that's garbage, man. Man, you know what? If you listening to me right now, I pray right now. If you ain't Kodashim, I pray that the Father opens up the eyes. I pray that the scales fall off, because there's no better feeling than when being set free. When He sets you free, you are free indeed. I don't care what. Father, thank you so much. I pray that these people, that if they're not set apart, they're not Kodashim, please open up their eyes. Let them find that door in that cell that they're trapped in. Let them find that exit door, because life is so much different outside of that door, outside of that cell. You actually can start living. People's not going to understand it, and I know, but I pray for these folks, Father, that their eyes come open, and I pray these things in Yahusha's mighty name. Amen. I'm telling you guys, outside of that cage that you was once trapped in, if you're set apart, if you're in covenant with the Father and you're living by those commandments, remember, if you read Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 through 25, those are the fruits of the Spirit. Those, once you seek His authority, those are given to you. Everything will be given to you. And there is no such law that can touch you if you live on that. If that's your address, Galatians 5, 22 through 25, there's no law that can touch you. None. The commandments the commandments are so much easier to keep than listening to the filthy church telling you what you can and can't do. Oh, that's not right. That's wrong. Man, kick rocks barefoot, as Robin says. Kick rocks. I don't listen to them. But you can't do that, man. You know, JC is my rest. No, that's not your rest. JC's the Messiah. He's the anointed one. The Father says to rest on the Sabbath. That's the seventh day. The seventh day. Well, you can worship. We can worship Him all through the week. Yeah, you can. But you better not do nothing on that seventh day. Exodus tells you to keep it and teach it for all generations. See, demonic activity. This, man, it's all goes back to the wicked, the ones that run this show. It's the enemy. Principalities and wickedness in high places. Look, Daniel was in the lion's den praying. It took Gabriel 21 days to get to him. And for Daniel, now Gabriel's time probably don't. It's probably a couple of, a few minutes. He had to go help fight the evil princes there in Persia. He said, and that's spiritual. They block prayer. They can block prayer. They try to block it, but you know what? It'll get through. Remember, Isaiah or Jeremiah called upon Yahuwah, and I will answer. He says He'll answer you. That prayer's coming. It's coming. It's done. It's a wrap. If you're His, it's coming. But I'm gonna tell you what: if you ain't right in Messiah, you better be careful what you ask for, because demonic possession, it can happen whether you think it can or it can't. How many stories have we just done and went through today? I only went through a couple of them, and there's way many more of demonic possession that they were casting out. Paul even cast out some demons. Peter, they did it. But nobody knows what to look for nowadays. Why? Because we've been dumbed down by the enemy. Our frequency ain't the same, but there's people waking up. Their frequencies are coming back. It's going to, man, look, He says only a remnant's going to make it. Only a remnant. And so I ask myself, why would I go out here to this wicked people and tell them? Because the Father says to. If we didn't do it, it's disobedience. If I don't sit here and tell you guys over on this here, I don't know how many people looks at this all the time, but they hear the names, the true names, And I try to say it when I'm out. I don't say it as much as I need to, and that's a fact. I don't. Sometimes I'm ashamed of myself for that, because he'll open up a door and sometimes you just want sticky foot in it. But we need to be more. We need to do these things, guys. We don't need to be afraid anymore. And I'm the chief of that. I'm the chief. I'm the chief guilty one for that. But we need to get right. We need to get people. Look, see, that's a conflict in my mind. Somebody help me out, I guess. We only know there's going to be a remnant, but yet he tells us to go on out there. Okay, there's only going to be a remnant, but we still got to. Why? We go out there because he tells us to. We have to. It's weird. It's like a fight in my head. Okay, well, there's only going to be a remnant, so why do I need to go out there and tell? Because somebody can come in. That's why. You can ask yourself 100 questions, but the thing is, not dumbed down, but brainwashed. Yeah, there you go. That's a good as word as any. Brainwashed. And when people are brainwashed, they've been brainwashed. That's a good word. Brainwashed, dumbed down. They've changed. I know they've. Look, why are all the bells gone, guys? Have you ever studied the bells? Bells have a frequency that resonate with your ruach. And from my understanding and my reading on it, it helps. It's a frequency there that's good for us. I don't know how many times you hear a bell chime now. I remember the church bells used to ring. Remember those days? Well, I don't think there's a church bell anymore. I don't hear a bell ringing anymore. It's wild. It's funny that they're all gone. I may be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but I know I've watched videos about people talking about the bells and their frequencies, but um, okay, Jeannie, what resonated? What you told about the true names? Was that what resonated? Okay, well, that's good. I see your comment up above, but yeah, it's it's got, guys. This is y'all can study so much more. Y'all read Enoch about the Go to Enoch. If y'all don't have the Sefer Bible, I advise y'all. I really encourage you guys to get it, because it's really a good book. And there's a lot of demonic activity there, just through the fallen angels. And so we know how this ends. We know she got it. She wanted to know more. Good. Invite her to come over and watch, and maybe she'll come in. That's what we want. We want people to be a. Look, I know there's so many other things that we need to do, but really, in my opinion, is to get people in. I know we need to. Look, he said he didn't tell us to keep the feast. He told us to keep the Passover for all generations, and he told us to keep the Sabbath for all generations. The feast and other things he's going to teach us in the wilderness. But look, I've had this on my heart for a couple of days now about the Sabbath. Is this the true Sabbath? Probably not, but it's right here because of the commandments written in your heart. That's what we have to remember. I don't think the calendar's been so jacked up for so many hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years that it's not. I don't think you could possibly figure out what the true day is from day one to right now. I just don't think we can do it. But he's going to tell us in the wilderness when he teaches all these things again. He's going to do it. Leviticus, what's in Leviticus, Robin? Let's go to Leviticus 17:1. I overshot the runway. Let's get over here. Leviticus 17:1. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons, and to all the children of Yashriel, and say to them, This is the thing which Yahuwah has commanded, saying, What man soever there is of the house of Yashua that kills an ox or lamb or goat in the camp, or that kills it out of the camp, and brings it not to the door of the tabernacle of the assembly to offer an offering to Yahuwah before the tabernacle of Yahuwah, blood shall be imputed unto that man. He has shed blood, and the man shall be cut off from among his people, to the end that the children of Yashua may bring their sacrifices which they offer. Is this what you wanted me to read, Robin? Huh? Why are you wanting to read this, Robin? Deuteronomy 18. Yeah, I know 21:12. Deuteronomy 21:12. It's about the ruach, or the cutting of the shaving of the hair and all that. Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 18, verse 9 through 14. 9 through 14. 9 through 14. And when you are come into the land which Yahuwah Elohaka gives you, you shall not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you any one that makes his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or one that practices sorcery, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with. Yeah, I found this one too, but I didn't do it. I just wanted to. Yeah, that's a good chap. That's good because divination. You know what that is? All that's wicked. All that's demonic. Don't even people say, "Hey man, let's go get my palm read." No, don't. That's forecast. I don't even read the weather, man, because it's a prediction. I don't do that. I don't even look at the weather. I don't care. I look outside to see what the sky's going to be. That's what I do. Y'all do what y'all want to, but that's me. I don't even look at the weather channel. I don't care about it. I just don't do it. If it rains, it rains. If it snows, I don't care. I'll know it when I look out the window. I'll know how to dress. And but anyways, see all that divination, the horoscopes, all that mess. Just stay away from it. That's what you got to do because it's all wicked. Tarot cards, tarot readings, horoscopes. Look, they hijacked my father's uh, 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 Mazarath in the Shamayim. He tells the whole Basara. It's in the stars, guys. He tells us it's there. But yet we're Greek and Roman gods are not mythology. See, I believe you. I absolutely believe that. I believe that it's part of the fallen ones and those centaurs. See that mixed? It's the centaurs, the I can't think of the mermaids, sirens. All that was real. Enoch tells you that they mated with the, yeah, they're the Nephilim, and their parents are like the Titans, the Zeus and all that. No, man, yeah, I don't even. I used to be so into Greek mythology, and man, it's garbage. It's trash because I believe it's real. Now I believe that it was actually real, and but guys, this has been a good lesson, y'all. I pray that y'all have a blessed Shabbat, Sabbath, and I pray for shalom on each and every one of y'all. I love y'all, and just be careful of what you bring into your home, especially if it's an antique or something, guys. Don't bring the antiques in unless you pray over it, because you don't know what's on it, especially something really old, because they can attach themselves to this stuff. But that as crazy as it sounds, it's the truth. And I just want y'all to, y'all don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you, demonic activity is real, and what's coming on this earth, y'all will believe it if you don't now. But I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your Sabbath and a blessed week. And I don't know what we'll do next week. Somebody can throw out something, what we can do, or I might just surprise you if nobody says anything. So, but y'all have a good day. I love you, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Love y'all.